The national museums in Singapore and South Korea will sign a 3-year deal as both countries strengthen their relationship in arts and culture. The agreement between the National Museum of Singapore and the National Folk Museum of Korea will include the use of technology in arts and heritage. The countries are marking 50 years of diplomatic relations. Celebrations were off to a grand start with a performance of royal court music from the Joseon dynasty. It was presented by the Esplanade as part of its series on sacred music. Representatives from cultural ministries of both countries were present.
I'm confident that today's performance will further deepen the mutual understanding between Korea and Singapore. Going forward, our two countries will continue to nurture cultural exchanges through events such as Jazz Festival and classical music collaboration.
So in the world where it's increasingly fragmented and where trade links and economic links are less flowing as before, I think the opportunities for us to look into things that can unite us and things that can bind us, and we have much to learn from Korea, and those are intangible, as Minister has said, intangible cultural heritage, but also intangible cultural relationships that span both countries.
Now, the Korean Embassy in Singapore has organised some 30 events to mark 50 years of friendship between the countries. For more, Nadira Zaidi joins us live from the Esplanade. And Nadira, you've been watching a performance marking the start of a very special year between Singapore and South Korea. Tell us more.
That's right, Jill. We only managed to catch the first 10 minutes, and I can tell you it's nothing like the K-pop concerts that we're used to. This one was more muted, but it was also very grand. It was also nice to see people of all ages here. There was a couple in their 50s out on a date, just immersing themselves in different cultures. There's also a mother-daughter duo, who loves Korean entertainment, but haven't had the chance to visit Korea. So this is like a taste of its culture. This performance is just one of the many events lined up in Singapore, like as you said, to commemorate 50 years of relations between Korea and Singapore. And right here with me, I have the Korean ambassador to Singapore, Mr. Hong Jin-wook. Hi, Mr. Ambassador.
Hi,
thank you so much for joining me here. So, 50 years of ties, it's significant, right? 50 years. Mm-hmm. So, could you share perhaps, some of the recent milestones in bilateral ties between Singapore and Korea?
Milestone. Well, if you allow, before replying your questions, I just want to say, just what you mentioned just before. Today's Jongmyo-jera performance was a very unique and happy experience for me to be able to see many Singaporean people were enjoying some aspects of the Korean traditional culture, which is a bit different from the current K-pop or K-drama that the Singaporean people were enjoying. So it was very happy and unique experience for me. For the milestone question, it is not easy to pick up one a specific milestone event since between our two countries, because I think every aspect of the bilateral collaboration between our two countries has been developing at a very steady pace for the last half a century since we made diplomatic ties in the year 1975. For example, while the Singapore is very stable trade and investment partner to Korea, Singapore being the fourth largest investment partner to Korea globally and seventh largest export market for Korea. But I can say like this, in the middle of the growing geopolitical uncertainties these days, Korea is in a way looking for a very stable and sustainable and trustworthy partner in tackling the global challenges. And I believe Singapore being the very trust partner to every country in the world and being very committed to what we call open and free trade and investment scheme under what we call the multilateral rule-based global order. That's why we always try to seek the collaboration from the Singaporean side. And thanks to the very successful visit by the Korean president last October to Singapore, we were lucky enough to be able to agree to establish, to virtually upgrade our bilateral relations to strategic partnership. We expect the return visit by one of your top leaders to Korea sometime in the second half of this year when we commemorate the 50th anniversary between our two countries.
Right. So, I understand there's a lot of events happening in Singapore. So, is there an important meeting perhaps that, you're looking forward to strengthen ties between Singapore and also Korea?
Firstly, we need to begin looking for the ways to virtually match the level of the substantial collaboration between our two countries to match the level of the virtual structured partnership between our two countries. And definitely we are already in the process of reviewing the FTA, established between our two countries, and air civil services agreements, something like that. Also, we came to look for some newer ways of collaboration, starting from climate change to new technologies like renewable energies and quantum and AI, and also in order to make our relation more sustainable, I think we need the people's continued support for our bilateral relation, and that is why we have, I would say, at least more than 30 commemorative events all throughout this year to enhance the people-to-people understanding. Starting from the Jeongmyo era, we have many other things, starting from music, jazz, and also food and movie.
So that's a lot of, partnership involved between Singapore and Korea to strengthen ties.
Just stay tuned.
Right. Thank you. Back to you, Jill.
CNA's Nadira Zaidi from the Esplanade in Singapore. Thank you for that. Now, you heard the ambassador mention about these events. Well, members of the public can also look forward to a slew of events, in fact, marking Korea-Singapore relations throughout the year. There'll be a roadshow in Plaza Singapura next month, showcasing Korean culture and tourism. It will feature performances, K-beauty and Korean cuisine. In August, the Korean Embassy will hold a traditional Fine Art Week. Singaporeans can enjoy folk art, decorative knots, and traditional music. Well, young visual artists will be featured in a special exhibition at the end of September. Gardens by the Bay will also display Korean paper lanterns over the Mid-Autumn Festival. Marking the same holiday, there will be a street food festival on the 6th of October. It will be along Tanjong Pagar Road, which has the highest density of Korean restaurants in Singapore. A mural will also be unveiled. Good news also for movie buffs. The annual Korean Film Festival at the end of October will showcase more diverse cinematic works than usual. A classical music conductor and pianist Baekgon Woo will also perform a concert with the Singapore Symphony Orchestra on the 31st of October.